Hi everyone, welcome back to Pearl's Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how I make cholas. You may know this as chickpeas, and this is a very good vegetarian dish which goes with puris, which I will also show you how to make after the cholas, and some side Indian salad that goes with it as well. So the ingredients you need for the cholas is, what I've got is two small tins of chickpeas, and which I've washed and drained and kept here. You need 2 chopped onions, and to go with the onions you need 3 bay leaves, dry bay leaves that you get at the Indian shop, 3 or 4 small pieces of cinnamon sticks. You want half a teaspoon of peppercorns, 8 to 9 cloves, and 2 finely chopped green chilies. So that goes with the onion. Now for the masalas, what you need is, you need a little bit extra ginger for this dish. So I've got 2.5 inches of peeled and roughly chopped ginger, 1 whole pod of garlic, 1 teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon, which is jeera, cumin, half a teaspoon of khus khus that you get at the Indian shop, half a teaspoon of turmeric. Here I've got 1.5 teaspoon of red chilli powder, hot red chilli powder. You could start off with half a teaspoon or as hot as you would like it. And I've got 1 teaspoon of Sauf, which you would call fennel seeds. And here in the middle I've got 1.5 tablespoon of dry coriander. And then we've got some more dry garam masalas. So you got 8 to 10 cloves, another 3 to 4 cinnamon sticks, half a teaspoon of peppercorns, little bit of mace. If you're using powdered mace that you get in a bottle, then you need 1/8 of a teaspoon, very little. And you also need 4 black cardamom. Now black cardamom would look like this. You go to Indian shop, and what you do is you press it and then you open it, and then the seed comes out. So you just need 4 of those, which I've already got there. So, and you need 1 tin of chopped tomatoes. So those are the ingredients you need for the chickpeas. So let's cook some cholas. Okay, now what we need for the cholas is a ladle spoonful of oil that's already in the dechi, and the 2 chopped onions that can go in now. So give that a little stir, and a few seconds later you need to add the dry ingredients that was with the green chilies. Put it all in the onion. Now you wait till this gets nice and dark golden color. So keep browning the onions. So while the onions are browning, we start with doing the masalas. This all goes in the grinder, and before we begin, the one ingredient that you need at the end that I've got in the freezer is dry coriander. So a fistful of dry coriander you need just to garnish the cholas. So all these masalas on this plate goes in the grinder. Along with all this dry green ingredients, the black cardamom and stuff, you need water to make it into a paste, and then just grind this. So now you see I've done the masalas. I needed to put some extra water in it, and this is how it should look like. This is the main ingredient for every curry dish. If this comes good, then all the curries come good. So that's done. Now you see my onions are nice and brown. And now we need to add this paste into it, all the curry paste. water into it so you don't waste any of the paste. Now add a little bit more. So once the onions are brown, all this masala goes in here. Now you keep stirring and browning the masalas for 5 minutes before we add the tomatoes. So as you see, the masalas will start to look like this. Keep scraping it, don't let it get caught. And after the 5 minutes, you add the chopped tomatoes. And now keep frying this for another 10 to 15 minutes, stirring occasionally. So you see now it's had its 15 minutes of browning the masalas, frying the masalas. I need it to stir it all the time, otherwise it starts to get caught underneath. If you think you need a few drops of water to add onto it, that's also alright, but if you keep stirring it all the time, you won't need the water. So this is what it should look like. That's the masala. Now it's time to add the salt. Around 1.5 teaspoons. Give it a stir. And then now you add the chickpeas to it. And then give it a stir. Stir it for a minute or so, and then we'll add the water. Now once this is cooked, the water seems to, the chickpeas seem to soak up the water. So you need to put a little bit extra water, but when it cools down, it actually soaks it all up. So after giving it a stir, I'm going to see how much we need. Yes. 1 cup of water. We need a lot more. Okay, so we need 2.5 to 3 mugs of water in it. So now what we do is let it come to a boil. As soon as it starts to boil, then you lower the heat from slow to medium and then let it cook for 20 minutes. Okay, so while that's cooking, while the cholas are cooking, I'll show you how to make the puris. Now just checking up on the chickpeas, and because the chickpeas are still a bit raw and still needs a fair time, another 15 minutes more. So you don't want the water to dry up. So another 3/4 mug of water put in there and let it cook, because the chickpeas need to be nice and soft. So let it cook on a slow flame as soon as it starts boiling. Okay, now we're going to show you how to make the puri. The puris, they go with the chickpeas really well. So I've got 2 mugs of chapati flour, the one we made for the chapatis and the parathas, the same flour, 2 mugs, 3/4 mug of water, might need a bit more or less, see as we go, a teaspoonful of salt, and 2 tablespoons of melted butter or ghee. I use ghee, you get this at any Indian shop. You just put that in the flour, don't waste it. Okay, just mix the ghee into the flour, and then we just form this into a dough. Gradually add the water. it. Now you keep mixing the atta till it becomes nice and smooth. Now this dough needs to be kneaded a bit extra, more than the one we needed for the chapati. Okay, so now keep kneading it at least 10 minutes. So as you see, I'm still kneading the dough. In between you can just take a little bit of water in your hands and just keep kneading it. By the time you finish the 10 minutes of kneading, your arms will have a good workout as well. So that's how the puri dough should look like. For the puris. Okay, just checking up on the chickpeas again, because like I said, it soaks up all the water very quickly. Now at this point, what we need, take a potato masher, that's what I do, and just roughly mash half the chickpeas. Just press into it, so some of the chickpeas will be whole and some will be mashed, so it gives it a nice flavor. Chickpeas are mashed, it will soak up some more water, so keep adding more water, another half a mug. You'll realize how quickly the water goes down. So now just cook it for another 5 minutes and then we'll garnish it with coriander, green coriander. Okay, now the chickpeas are nice and soft. This is how it should look like, so much gravy it should have. And then you just turn the heat off. And then I've got some frozen coriander that I always keep in the freezer. And you just take 2 fistfuls and just garnish it. And then give it a stir. Put the lid, take it off its heat. And just let the cholas now soak in the gravy for at least half an hour to 45 minutes, because then all the flavors will go into the chickpeas. Okay, now we're going to make the puris. As you saw, we did the dough ready, and if you made this quite in advance, it needs to be covered up with cling film so it doesn't dry out. And we need what we call is a karaya in India, or you could use a wok, anything that holds a lot of oil, because this all has to be deep fried. Now you need the oil to be nice and hot to test the oil that it's ready for the puris. These puris are meant to be eaten straight away as it's cooked, so leave the puris till last. So take a little bit of the dough and put it in the oil and you'll see it start to float up. So then you know the oil is ready. Okay, now there's 2-3 shapes of puris you can make. Normally you get them round ones, so this size, what size would that be called? Half a golf ball size. So this takes longer, the round ones, and then I'll show you the cut in quarter ones. They are quicker, so we'll make 4 of the round ones. So you can make these and keep. So the round ones, you just dip a little bit of oil or keep the oil ready and then roll it. Roll it as a side as the size of a saucer. So keep them all ready. Oil so it doesn't stick. So that's 4 done. And now to make a bigger one, just take the size of like the chapati and parathas we made, and then for this you won't need the oil because you roll it out bigger, so it might start to stick, so you need a little bit of dry flour. This is quicker when you have quite a lot of guests come in, because that takes longer. Normally I have an assistant that I roll and they fry, especially my daughter when she was here. So you roll it as round and big as a plate, and then you just cut it in 4. Now the oil is already hot, so you just slide it in the oil with water, and then you just gently press it. They should all puff up in the oil. Okay, then turn it over. Lower the heat if you think the oil is too hot, because you don't want them to cook too soon and be raw inside. So while that's cooking, you keep putting the other ones, because you can do 4 at a time. And they should all start to come up. They should all start to blow. Keep turning them over. This one was there first, so take that out and keep a dish ready with some paper towel to drain the oil. Once you start making this, they're very quick, and they're lovely to eat also with jam as a dessert. My kids used to love it. So these are the round puris. And now the same with the triangular ones. They should all start to puff up. As soon as they puff up, you need to turn them over. Gently press them, very gently, to make them puff up. And then turn them, turn them. Should be like golden brown both sides. These are delicious to go with the cholas. But if you don't want to make these, puris, the cholas will go very very well with the parathas that you get in the supermarket, frozen parathas. You can also eat them with chapatis, but they come better with puris and parathas. There you go, those are puris. You keep making them whichever shape you want till all the dough is finished. Okay, now that the cholas are ready, the puris are ready, now we need a side salad, Indian side salad. It's very quick. All you need is few ingredients. So here I've got half a mooli that you'll get at the Indian shop. It's a radish, but not the round one, the long one. Half a cucumber, 1 onion, 2 to 3 chopped tomatoes, 1 or 2 green chilies. So that's it. You assemble all this into the bowl together. It's easier to do it with my hand. So all you need is freshly ground pepper, quite a lot of it, maybe half to 1 teaspoon of salt, and fistful of coriander, and half a lime. Squeeze the lime into it. I like it nice and acidy, so I might add a little bit more. I just stir it. You can use it with a spoon, but it comes better if you stir it with your hand. Give it a nice mix. And there you go. That's the side salad to go with your cholas and puri. Okay, now you see everything is ready, so let's dish up. Take a plate or a small bowl. There you go. Some chickpeas. Don't forget the bay leaves and the cloves and the peppercorn you don't eat. Take them out. And then you dish up some salad at the side. Put some puris at the side. Let's put a round one as well. And you break the puris, scoop it up in the chickpeas, mix it with the salad, and what goes well with this also is a pickle, chili pickle, mango pickle, any pickle. So hope you enjoy the cholas and puris that I showed you, and if you want to know what's on the menu next Wednesday, please join me next week. Till then, stay safe, and thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel.